Imagine a single artery, barely 30 miles wide at its narrowest point, carrying the lifeblood of entire nations. Picture a maritime chokepoint so critical, a single disruption could grind global economies to a halt and spark international conflict. This isn't the plot of a thriller. It's the stark geopolitical reality of the Strait of Malacca. For decades, this 800-kilometer stretch of water has been the world's busiest, most crucial trade route, linking the oil fields of the Middle East and the manufacturing hubs of East Asia to the rest of the world. Now imagine if one nation's entire economic engine, its very survival, depended almost entirely on this perilous passage. 80%. That's the percentage of China's energy imports, the oil and gas fueling its factories, cities, and military that must pass through this single vulnerable channel. This is not just a logistical hurdle, it's a strategic nightmare. It's known with growing unease as the Malacca Dilemma. In a world increasingly defined by competition and conflict, this narrow strait is poised to become the ultimate flashpoint. What happens if this vital artery is severed? Could a blockade here bring a superpower to its knees? And how is China, desperate to secure its future, fighting back to escape this geographic cage? Prepare to navigate the treacherous waters where geography, power, and survival collide. Welcome to the Prime Archive. Hello and welcome to the Prime Archive. Here, we delve deep into the pivotal moments, complex systems, and strategic decisions that shape our world, offering insightful analysis and compelling narratives on the forces driving global affairs. Today, we're dissecting one of the most significant and often overlooked geopolitical vulnerabilities of our time. Let's begin. To understand the Malacca Dilemma, we first need to grasp the sheer scale of China's reliance. As the world's second-largest economy, China's energy appetite is gargantuan. And geographical reality dictates that the vast majority of that energy, particularly crude oil, takes a long, vulnerable journey across the Indian Ocean, through the Strait of Malacca, and up into the South China Sea. Think of it like this. For every 5 barrels of oil powering China, 4 have squeezed through a passage that in some places is less than 2 miles across. The strait is not just busy. It's practically a conveyor belt for the Chinese economy. But this efficiency masks a deep strategic insecurity. This isn't just about traffic jams, it's about control. A significant disruption here, whether caused by an accidental collision, a natural disaster, or a deliberate hostile act, would immediately strangle China's energy supply. Factories would shutter, transport would halt, and the very stability of a nation could be threatened. This isn't hypothetical. It's a constant strategic equation dominating Beijing's thinking. The strait is dotted with critical points and massive ports, like Singapore, one of the world's busiest, strategically located at its southern end. The sheer density of traffic adds another layer of complexity and potential friction. Control, or even just influence over these key locations in the strait itself becomes a prize of immense geopolitical value. Now, let's inject a worst-case scenario. The geopolitical temperature rises. Perhaps a major crisis erupts over Taiwan, or overlapping claims in the South China Sea escalate beyond diplomatic posturing. In such a conflict, the vulnerability of the Malacca Strait becomes an irresistible strategic lever for China's adversaries, most notably the United States and its regional allies. Imagine a coordinated naval blockade, either a hard blockade physically stopping ships, or a soft one using sanctions and pressure to deter shipping companies. The strait, so easily traversed during peacetime, becomes an impenetrable barrier. The economic devastation for China would be almost immediate and potentially catastrophic. Key industries would grind to a halt within weeks, if not days, as strategic reserves dwindle. The shockwaves would be felt globally, disrupting supply chains and sending energy prices soaring everywhere. But for China, it would be existential. The potential for social unrest and even regime instability, triggered by an economic implosion and energy shortages, is a terrifying prospect for the Chinese leadership. The Malacca Dilemma isn't just about ships and oil. It's about preserving national power and stability in the face of a single, crippling geographical weakness. It's a strategic checkmate waiting to happen unless alternative moves can be found. Faced with this strategic chokehold, China hasn't sat idle. For nearly 2 decades, Beijing has pursued a relentless, multi-pronged strategy to bypass, or at least significantly reduce its dependence on, the Strait of Malacca. This is the grand pivot, a monumental effort that reshapes geography itself. At the heart of this effort is the Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure and investment program. One key component, often referred to as the string of pearls, involves developing strategic deep water ports along key maritime routes. Look here, at Gwadar in Pakistan. China has invested billions to transform this fishing village into a major port, linked via pipeline and highway through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor directly to western China. This theoretically allows oil from the Middle East to completely bypass the Malacca Strait, shaving thousands of miles off the journey. Similarly, investments in ports in Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and as far afield as Djibouti in East Africa provide critical logistics hubs and potential naval berths, creating alternative nodes and securing influence along key shipping lanes. It's about redundancy and diversifying access points. But the pivot isn't just about new ports on familiar routes. China is also looking north to the Polar Silk Road. As Arctic ice melts due to climate change, new shipping lanes are opening up. These routes, though treacherous and requiring specialized vessels, offer a significantly shorter and crucially Malacca-free path between East Asia and Europe. It's a long-term play, but it demonstrates the depth of China's commitment to finding alternatives. So, is China succeeding? The answer is complex. Infrastructure projects are notoriously challenging, facing delays, political opposition, and enormous costs. Bypassing the Malacca Strait entirely for the vast majority of its energy needs remains a distant goal. The strait, despite its vulnerabilities, remains the most economical and efficient route for bulk shipping, including energy for the foreseeable future. Even with pipelines and northern routes, a significant portion of China's trade will likely continue to squeeze through this narrow channel. The Malacca Dilemma, therefore, isn't something to be solved overnight. It's a condition to be managed, shaping regional dynamics for decades to come. It fuels intense competition for influence among major powers. The United States maintains a significant naval presence to ensure freedom of navigation and implicitly, to preserve its ability to exploit this leverage if necessary. Regional nations like India, wary of China's expanding influence, are also boosting their maritime capabilities. Yet, there's also potential for cooperation. All major trading nations have a shared interest in keeping the strait safe and open. Joint patrols by the littoral states, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, are a testament to this pragmatic necessity. The future of the Malacca Strait lies in the tense balance between these forces, the undeniable economic pull of efficiency and cooperation versus the potent geopolitical push of strategic competition and survival. The Strait of Malacca is more than just a passage. It's a powerful symbol of our interconnected and fundamentally geography-bound world. For China, it remains a defining vulnerability, a constant reminder of the Malacca Dilemma and the high-stakes game of securing energy for its future. As China pivots and alternatives are explored, this narrow body of water will continue to be a focal point, reflecting the broader tectonic shifts in global power. Geography, it seems, remains the ultimate arbiter, even in the 21st century. Thank you for joining us on this exploration here at the Prime Archive. We hope you found this deep dive insightful. If you enjoyed this documentary and want to support our channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell so you never miss another episode. We rely on your support to continue bringing you in-depth analysis on the crucial forces shaping our world. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.